Unity's animation events are super useful to speed up development when it comes to combining your game logic with animations, so stick around to see what they are and how they can be used. Let's say, for example, you wanted to add a hitbox to a punch or slam animation. If you're like me, you used to count the amount of frames until the hitbox should show, then divide by the frames per second of the Sounds complicated, right? Well, in this video, I'll be showing you how Unity developers can use animation events to make things like this 10 times simpler. And by the end of watching this, we'll have gone from this to this by only writing 7 lines of code. This video is brought to you by Sky Games. Check the link in the description for more info. So here in Unity, I've set up a scene with a simple player controller which allows me to play a kick and attack animation depending on which mouse button I pressed. You can see that the game is lacking many elements, for example sound. So in order to play a kick sound, in my player controller script, I'll get a reference to the audio clip I want to play with a kick animation. Then I'll make a function called playKickSound, and take note that it does not have to be a public function for this to work. This function will just play the kick sound at the player's current position with a volume of 65%. And believe it or not, this is all the coding we have to do in order to create an animation event which will play the kick sound. Now, make sure to assign the kick sound in the inspector. Now it's time to make an animation event. So on my kick animation, I'm going to find the frame where I think the kick sound should start playing. Then you'll want to click this little button here. You'll see it has added a little bookmark kind of thing on your timeline. And if you select it, you can see we can select our play kick sound function. This means that whenever this animation reaches this frame, this animation event will be called, which in our case will play the kick sound. And if I hit play, you can see now the kick sound starts playing. And it is as simple as that. It's worth noting you can call any method on your scripts that you want. So you could instantiate objects, handle hitboxes and damage, and basically anything else you can program in a function. Now I want to add some more juice to the attacking animation. It would be nice to have a target show up to show the player where the character will land. So in our script, I'll get a reference to the target, then I'll make a function to show the target and one to hide it. This is the prefab I've prepared to use as the target, and you can see it is a child of the player, so it moves with the player. I'll leave it disabled by default, then drag it into the target field. Now in my attack animation, at about frame 9, I'll add an animation event which calls show target. Then at frame 36, I'll create another one which hides the target. And once again, you can see how simple it is to call functions in your code directly from animations. And now you can see the target shows as the player leaves the ground and disappears as he slams into it. Great, now to add some camera shake and the slam sound. I'll get a reference to the camera's animator as well as the audio clip I want to play when the character slams into the ground. Then I'll make a function called camera shake, and take note that this is a private function but it'll still work, which just plays a shake animation on the camera, as well as a function to play the slam sound at full volume. I'll also just make sure that the sounds are played right at the camera's position to make sure we can hear them. Now after assigning the audio clip and camera animator in the inspector, I'll add some more animation events to call the camera shake and slant sound functions. And with that out the way, you can see how insanely easy this feature is to use in order to take your game's animations to the next level of immersion. To remind you, we went from this to this by only writing this code. And it could feel way better if the sounds were designed specifically for these animations. I hope you learned something new in this video and can use this tool to speed up your development in the future. And don't forget to go check out our website for more info on Sky Games.